I've been shooting a lot of basketball here lately, so here are some tips that I found that work for me that I'm going to share with you. Tip number one is know the team that you're going to shoot. I think it is imperative to understand who the main ball handlers are, what kind of plays that they run, what kind of action do they run. Are they high-low? Are they doing pick and roll? Are they fast-paced? Are they a fast break team? Does defense turn into offense for them? I think these are some key things that you need to understand before you start shooting. Once you have a key understanding of those few things there, you can kind of anticipate what's going to happen on the floor, and that makes it a lot easier to be prepared to get the shots that you need. All right. Number two, pick your spots of where you're going to sit. You know kind of what they do as a team now, so you can kind of find spots that work on the floor at the gym that you're at to be. That way you're prepared to catch that action. But you definitely got to know kind of what offense and stuff that they run to make sure that you're in the right spot. All right. Number three, so the camera system that I run is the Canon R6 Mark II, and I run a Sigma 70-200. That is primarily what I capture all my basketball sports shots and things with. It does the job well. I have no issues with autofocus or that stuff. The Sigma 70-200 is a great lens. I know some people are going to say, well, it's EF and you have to adapt it. And yes, that is true, but the autofocus is still snappy, and I don't have any issues missing shots, but that is also because of steps 1 and 2. I kind of know where the ball's going to go, kind of know what the team's going to do, so I'm prepared. So when they swing it, I know this guy's going to shoot, and they'll swing it, and I'll be ready. So it really does help if you know the team and kind of what's going on, okay? So that's the camera that I use. Settings that I'm kind of primarily at, I try to stick to between 1250 and 1600. I know a lot of people think that might be a little too high, that you don't need to go above 1000, but that's kind of where I'm at. My aperture's at 2.8 and my ISO is normally around 3200. I don't go much higher than that, and my images I feel like are crispy and sharp, and like I said, that gets the job done for me. If you have some different settings, leave them down in the comments. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to try different settings, but that's kind of what works for me. When I'm doing some video, it depends on where I'm at. This particular clip, I did shoot with the 70-200 because I didn't have time to go change, but I do kind of have a 50mm 1.4 that I've been kind of using. Just to kind of do some, when they do the runouts and some warm-up drills and that sort of thing, I'll put that on if I have time. Sometimes I just don't have time between the girls' game and the guys' game to switch things up. So that's just one of those things. If I have time, I'll do it. If I don't, we just rock with it and we go. Another thing for low light, the Canon R6 Mark II, it doesn't have a dual native ISO, but I will say that something does happen at 3200 and 6400. Like, there is some grain there, but it's not bad and it's very usable. So I'm not going to say it's dual native ISO, but it definitely has some, there's some stuff happening, behind the scenes on when you're at those particular ISOs. So I do lean on that heavily. Like you'll see in this clip, like they turned off all the lights, but I feel like between the spotlights and the handheld, it was pretty solid. And I feel like the clips look really good. So those are just some of the tips that I use for sports photography. I've really enjoyed getting into it. Let's see, is there anything else? Bonus tip, I do sometimes, depending on the situation, I'll put the Canon in the 1.6 crop mode just to kind of get a better feel of what's going on maybe like what a couple of images will look like if I crop in. So I have used that for a couple things. So I mean, it's a cool feature that I feel like a lot of people don't take advantage of or use, but I do really like that. I really like that, that little mode. So anyway, if you're thinking about getting into sports photography, I highly encourage it. I think you do need to kind of do a little research and be prepared on the team that you're going to shoot. I think it just makes your job easier in the long run. So, careful preparation is one of those things that we always need to be. I mean, if we're going to plan, if we kind of help timeline planning for weddings, we can kind of plan a little bit for basketball. And I think knowing the game definitely does help. So these are my practical tips. Let me know down in the comments if I left out any, or if you want to add any. Let me know down in the comments. And until the next one, see ya.